Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chirag. How are you?
Sir, absolutely fine.
Okay. You were not there yesterday. Where were you?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Gracie Upadhyay, Aditya Agrawal. Good morning, all of you.
So, how
How
are
are
you?
you? I am fine so far
I'm
with
also good.
God's blessing and your love and prayer. I am safe and sound. How about you?
I'm also good.
Okay, great. You must be.
It's very cold here.
Yeah. Where are you? In Agra or Jhalawad?
In Jhalawar.
Okay. You are not making your visits to the city of Taj.
No, sir.
Srishti
Because of this
Kashyap. Good
pandemic.
morning. Srishti, how are you? Srishti? Srishti doesn't reply. That's the problem. She only comes, joins the class, but doesn't reply. Are you there, Srishti? She has joined. Okay, so yesterday we had finished the chapter and the questions answers of indigo. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We were dealing with the questions and answer of the chapter indigo. We have finished. We have finished the story. Also the questions and answer. And today we are going to begin with the new topic, that is my mother at 66. Isn't it? Yes?
No, sir.
Then
Aunt Jennifer's Tigers.
Aunt Jennifer's Tiger. How do you know, Chirag? Chirag, how do you know we are going to read this? Chirag, how do you know? How did you come to know that we are going to read this today? Who informed you? Yeah, Gracie.
Yes, sir.
Do you know we were going to read the chapter, the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers?
Yes, sir.
How did you know that?
We have texted on WhatsApp.
Okay, so I did text it on WhatsApp. So have you gone through this poem? Yeah, Gracie,
Yes, sir.
have you gone through this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about you, Aditya Agrawal? Have you gone through this?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Aditya Agrawal, Gracie, Prakshal.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Chirag, Meena. Chirag,
Yes, sir. I have also completed the chapter. Yes,
you
sir.
have you have read this chapter?
Yes, sir.
Very good. And Sisti Kashyap, I know that no answer, no reply, no words, no sound will come from her. But I am hopeful that she has also gone through the poem. She is very studious, dedicated, hard-working student of our school. Okay. So if you have gone through the chapter, not the chapter, but the poem, you would find it easy to understand. You might have already understood the theme of the poem. What is the theme? What is the idea the poetess is trying to convey to us? Yes, so all of you have gone through this. What is the theme of the poem? Any one of you who can share? What is the theme? Yes, Prakshal Daga first hand. Yes, Prakshal.
So it deals with the hardships faced by a woman throughout her married life and something about male dominating society.
So it is something about male dominance, male dominating in the society, and hardships faced by a married woman. Yes, Gracie, you also wanted to say something. You also raise hand. Yes, Gracie, what do you say?
So in this poem, so in this poem,
Speak
the
louder. Your
poet.
voice, your voice is very low. Speak. Increase your volume.
So in this poem, the poetess addressed the constraints of the married life and how the patriarchal society is very oppressive on the woman.
So
And then the
constant.
poetess Andre Rich, through
Mhm.
these lines, tells about women's struggles, expression in the in the three stanzas of 4 lines.
Okay. So restrictions, limitation, exploitation of women in society, especially after marriage, and the pat- patriarchal society, the rights, the freedom, all kind of enjoyment is enjoyed only by males in the society. So Adrienne Rich, she is well known for her stories, her poem, her novels, and mostly her stories, novels, they deal with this kind of theme, that is marriage, and then gender based discrimination and power which is enjoyed, unequal power shared by men and women in the society, male dominance in the society, suppression of women's rights, freedom in the society. So here in the poem, she has titled it Aunt Jennifer's Tiger. So the poetess is Adrienne Rich. And Adrienne Rich, somewhere she has expressed her own desire, her own experience, her own suffering, pain through the words with a character named Aunt Jennifer. So usually, the poetess, the poet, the writer, they have some characters in the story or poetry they write. So either those characters are fictional or somewhere they have faced them, they have been influenced by them in their life. So here she has given the title to the poem, that is Aunt Jennifer's Tiger. So with that image, with the image of aunt, with the image of a married woman, she wants to express her own suffering, her own experiences and suffering of a married woman which she faces. She expresses the struggle of women in male dominating society. And for that, she also makes a comparison of her life with the tiger. So, therefore, she has used the title Aunt Jennifer's Tiger. Now, what does the tiger symbolize? Why the tiger has been used here? When we read the poem, we shall understand and discuss much upon it. But before that, before we move on to, I want to ask all of you, have you read any other poem like this? Any other poem based on animal or any other birds, animal? Do you remember? Are you reminded of any other poetry or poem you have read similar to this poem, where of course the animal might have been different? but any other poetry. Do you remember? In 10th class, 9th class, 11th class. Yes? Yeah, Gracie?
No, sir, I could not remember.
Prakshal,
So I don't remember.
you don't remember, that means your memories are not so sharp. Your memory is becoming dull. So you must
So
start it.
unable to recall it.
Yeah, you are unable to recall it. So you must start eating wet almonds every day in the morning. Do you remember Chirag, Aditya? Any of the kind of poem you
Sir, in not study, but I have read generally means
Mhm.
not of study books.
Not in the state?
Penthera degree.
Yes, so that's what I asked. If you have read it anywhere in the newspaper, magazine. So there are many poems, especially in 10th class. This year also is there. There is a poem with the title Animals, which describes about the different animals. And in your junior class also, there were poems related to animals. There were chapter Mrs. Speckletide's tiger and all those chapters. Okay, in 11th also there were some chapters, but you are not able to recall it, so no problem. Now, just a quick introduction of the poetess, and then you shall tell me the story of the poem or the summary which you have read. So, if you read about the poet, that is name is Adrian Rich. Adrian Rich was born in Baltimore, Maryland, USA. She is widely known for her involvement in contemporary women's movement as a poet and theorist. So, as a contemporary women poet, as a theorist, and as a poet. She has published 19 volumes of poetry. Remember, 19, 9 volume of poetry she has published, 3 collections of essays and other writings. A strong resistance to racism and militarism echoes through her work. So, if you read her poems, her essays, her articles, you would notice a strong echo of against racism and militarism is found there. Racism, discrimination based on the color or any other factor. So racism and also militarism, that is tyranny. The poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers addresses the constraints of married life a woman experience. So here she expresses about the constraint, the limitation, the restrictions, the struggle, the suffering faced by a married woman in her life. Now, all of you have been through the poem, all of you have read it. So, just in your own words, you are going to share with us, share with the class, what have you read, what is the story. You can tell your uh, poem in form of story, okay? So, whatever you have read in your own words, you must share with the class, and then of course we shall read it word by word, line by line, stanza by stanza. So who is going to tell the class first? Raise your hand. Who is going to be the first man or woman? So Prakshal Daga is going to be the first. Yes, Prakshal, begin in your own words, whatever you have read.
Yes, sir. So it is a poem which is telling about the hardship faced by a woman after her married life, and something about it is male dominating society. Here in the starting, Aunt Jennifer has made a tiger over a screen, which is in the position showing that it is going to jump. It is full of brightness, and it is here a word denizen is given, which symbolizes that it is found in a particular place where forest and wooden grass is found. Uh, the people who are below that tree where the tiger is found should not fear, because it is been shown as a drawing, or it has been made by Aunt Jennifer, which is a symbolic meaning, which is having a symbolic meaning that it is a warrior and did not fear because he is full of confidence. But the one who has made it, her fingers are fluttering over the wool, because it is showing that she's dealing with a heavy weight and responsibilities and leading a terrible life after her marriage. Here uncle's wedding band refers to the marriage or a ring that she is wearing after her marriage, and ivory needle which is made up of elephant's teeth. She is not even able to pull it. The last paragraph it is given, when the Jennifer aunt will be no more, her terrified hands will be remembered, as she has suffered a lot of difficulties in her life, and she was a confident lady.
Good.
And the tiger which she has made is full of proud and has also faced many difficulties, but he has never underestimated it and always fought of it, and he was a brave and unafraid animal.
Very good. So this is a simple poem, but it has got a deep meaning. It has got a deeper meaning. Simple poem, but it has also got symbolical meaning. Yes. Next, Gracie, what you have read and what have you understood? Share with us. Yes,
So this
Gracie.
poem is a feminist poem.
Speak louder.
Which
Your volume is very low. Your voice is very low. I don't know why the reason, but your voice is coming very low. Speak louder.
so this, so this poem is a feminist poem which shows a critical male world. And in this, for in the first stanza, and Jennifer, uh, she is knitting some, stitching or knitting some and there's a line which is like bright topaz denizens of world of green, which evoke an image of regal tigers who are unafraid of being in the jungle. And there is a one more line, the pace and sleek chivalric certainty, which shows there is a confidence in the tigers, the way they move, and the way they move into the jungle, they have no fear. And then the second stanza, the Aunt Jennifer revealed that she is very feeble, very weak and enslaved, which is very much opposite to the tiger she was knitting. And her physical and mental trauma was also there, which is depicted in the line, find even the ivory needle hard to pull. And even though a wedding ring doesn't weigh much, the line, the massive weight of uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon the Aunt Jennifer's hand, so signifying the amount of dominance her husband exercised over her. This also means that her inner free spirit has been jailed by the patriarchal society. Then in last stanza, it's about the Aunt Jennifer's death. That even
Your
aunt
voice
is
is.
dead,
Hmm.
her terrified hands will lie still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. Mean, uh, after her death, she wouldn't be free from what she have went through. And but her artwork, which was her escape route, or in a way, her inner sense of freedom, will stay forever.
Okay. Yes. Good. Now, Chirag. Chirag, go ahead. Chirag Meena.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Speak whatever you have understood, and for your help, for your hints. Points are written on the board also. Yes. Speak whatever you have read, whatever you have understood.
So actually I don't get anything properly, but थोड़ा थोड़ा पता चला है.
Don't speak Hindi, don't speak Hindi. Okay, you wait for one more turn. Aditya Agrawal is there.
Yes, sir.
Aditya Agrawal is there. He is going to share, and then
Yes, sir.
From starting.
yeah, Aditya from starting. Then after that, Chirag, you will also speak whatever you have understood in your own words. Okay, yes, Aditya, speak.
Since we are talking about the male dominating society in this poem, so according to the first stanza, it describes that about the Aunt Jennifer's tigers. These tigers have been made by Aunt Jennifer. Since they are unreal, they are described as bright crystalline animals that prance around their world of green forest. Green means forest. These tigers are certain who they are and what they want. Means it represents fearlessness, assertion, and power. And these are the qualities which Aunt Jennifer wants to talk and which she lacks. And in fact, these tigers symbolize the men who dominate human society. In the second stanza, Aunt Jennifer describes her creative skills. She is doing needlework on a panel and making tigers. Her fingers flutter because of the burden of the operation that she has on her. The poet tells about the metaphorical weight of the Aunt Jennifer's wedding band and implies that her marriage was unhappy and prevented her from a living life that she wanted. Uncle's wedding band represents the patriarchal society in which she lived. In fact, Aunt Jennifer seems to live her desires of being confident and fearless through the tiger she is making. In the last stanza, it takes a U-turn. It describes what would happen when Aunt Jennifer is dead. Her hands will be terrified with the massive weight of Uncle's wedding band. It is evident here that even in her death, she would not win the battle against masculine domination. Even death will not free Aunt Jennifer from her ordeals. The tiger she had made would continue to look proud and unafraid. This shows that the poems deal with the woman's struggle against oppression, against patriarchal society.
Right, good. Yes. So there are three stanzas and three different mental status or experience of the poetess is written. In first stanza, she writes about the prancing tiger, the tigers which she has made, which she has embroidered on the screen. Screen here stand for the curtain or any cloth. They are lively, they are live, they are brave, they are courageous, and they walk peacefully, and they are not frightened of anyone. So tiger here symbolically also stand for the male, the men in the society, the male dominating society, the male. And somewhere in her heart, in her mind, she also wanted to have that freedom or rights like the men are enjoying in the society. Second stanza, she speaks about her feeble health. She has become so weak, so tired by the burden of marriage. The uncle here for her husband, the term has been used uncle because the poetess has kept herself as niece of Aunt Jennifer Tiger. So she has been burdened, her life is completely burdened, she is suffering a lot because of the marriage, and the women suffer a lot according to her in the marriage. The men, they just go for the work and they come back, whereas the women have to take all the responsibility from morning till night, taking from their parents to their husband's parents, their children, making food, cleaning the house, utensils, and all those responsibilities related to house or homemaking. And then finally, in the third stanza, she speaks about the death, that only when death is there, her hands will lie terrified. Even in the death, her hands will lie, they would be resting, but they would be terrified. And the tigers, the artwork which she has done, it will be still noticed, observed by everybody on the screen. The tigers which she has made, those tigers would be still jumping, would be still free roaming here and there. That means even after her death, she would die, she would go to heavenly life, but still the things will go on, still the dominance of the men, dominant of the male will go on in the society. Yes, Chirag, now you got something? Where are you, Chirag? Where is Chirag, Gracie? Gracie?
Sir, I don't know. He
Where,
left. He left
where is
suddenly.
he? I can't see him.
Yes, sir. He's not in the meeting.
He has escaped.
Yes, sir.
So cunning. He is so cunning, man.
So might be some network issue.
No, no issue. I know that he has escaped. He doesn't want to speak or he is not ready. So therefore he has made an escape. Anyway, no problem.
So may I text him?
No problem now. Let it be. It is his wish not to force. Sisti, are you there? Sisti, are you listening to us? Sisti? Sisti Kashyap? Sisti Kashyap, are you there? Are you listening to me? Yes or no? Sisti is not even replying. Sisti,
So
okay,
might be उसका mic work नहीं करता.
but she hasn't spoken in any of the class so far. She hasn't replied in any of the class. She joins, she remains there actively, but she doesn't respond. Okay. So here I am finally going to tell you, going to narrate you the story, the theme, the summary of the poem which we are going to read, which we shall read line by line, word by word. But before that, you understand it in simple language. Okay. So in the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tiger, a woman expresses her suppressed feeling through her artwork. A woman is expressing her suppressed feeling through her artwork. Now, Sisti Kashyap has also gone. She has also left. So, the person I call, that person leaves. Anyway, yes. So, you know that mostly the women, they are involved in household work, isn't it? The housewives. The housewives are usually involved in household work and they spend their most of the time, their leisure time, their free time in doing some household work. Either they keep themselves busy in knitting the sweaters or mending any other clothes or any other household work in the house. So here the lady, she was busy. She expressed her feeling through artwork, embroidery. Aunt Jennifer is the victim of the male dominated society. And here the character has been chosen by the poetess, that is Aunt Jennifer, as a victim of the male dominating society. She has no one to tell her mental and physical pain. There is no one with whom she can share her mental and physical pain, not even with her husband, because husband doesn't listen to her. She makes a picture to convey her deep feeling. So therefore, in order to take out her frustration, her feelings, she makes the picture, she makes the drawing, she makes embroidery on the screen. The speaker describes the tigers which her aunt produced on the panel. They are set in motion, and the tiger which has been drawn, they are set in motion. They are moving, they are not dead, they are active. They are moving quickly by raising the front legs and jumping forward on the back legs. So in the picture which Aunt Jennifer has drawn, you would see that the tigers are jumping. They are prancing, they are active, their front legs are up in the air. So it shows that they are moving, they are jumping. In the green jungle, they look free, bright, brave, fearless, and magnificent. And these tigers, they are brave, fearless, magnificent. They look very, very elegant, very beautiful, very courageous. They are not afraid of anyone. There are men sitting under the tree, but the tigers do not care for them because the tiger is the king of the forest, king of the jungle. They move on to their goal boldly and smoothly. Jennifer finds it difficult to make pictures by using the ivory needle. And Aunt Jennifer finds it very difficult even to pull needle, uh, the needle with which she is making the picture. It shows that she is tired, she is so weak physically, mentally, intellectually. She is tired of doing the household work after she got married. So it speaks about the hardships and the responsibility a married woman has after getting married. So getting the children ready for the school, making lunch for them, doing mopping the floor, grooming, and many other, washing the clothes, dishes, plenty of things. She can't get herself involved in her artistic work. She has to do it in her leisure time. So a woman doesn't get time for her artistic work, and she takes out some time from her leisure time, free time, and that also she spends in her artistic work, knitting the sweater, etc. Even then, she has to be sure whether her husband is watching her or not. She has to be careful whether the husband or any elder people in the society, elder men in the society is watching her or not. If he is there, she can't do it. She has to give her presence, she has to give her services to the husband or the male in the family. So her hands are terrified. Therefore, her hands are terrified with the presence of the male, with the presence of the husband. She will not be free from fear until she dies. And the poetess says that she won't be free from the fear until she dies. It is only the death which will make her free from fear, fear from her husband, fear from the male in the society, males in the family. She will be dominated by her husband. She will die, but her art will express her desire to move proudly and fearlessly like the tiger she has made. So, in the final stanza, last stanza, the poetess says that she will die, but her artistic work, her art, her craft will remain there. It will express her desire permanently to move proudly. So already I told you that she, through her art, expresses her suffering, her pain, her frustration, and somewhere in her heart, in her mind, she has also desire to go and live life to the fullest, like the husband or like the male they enjoy in the society. That's the poem. That's the summary of the poem in short, in my own words. Okay. Now we shall read this poem tomorrow, line by line, stanza by stanza, and also discuss the questions and answer of it. Okay. Clear, everybody?
Okay.
Any doubt? Any problem?
Yes, sir.
No,
So
sir.
yes, so tomorrow we shall you go through this once again and also find out wherever you see, wherever you notice the poetic device, literary device, you also notice, make a note of it Okay, tomorrow we can discuss that also. Okay, so see you tomorrow, same time. Goodbye.
Thank
Bye
you,
bye.
sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
bye bye.